Stop whatever you are doing and listen to me very carefully because we are less than 48 hours away from one of the most critical financial moments of the month for millions of Social Security beneficiaries. If you have been watching the calendar, if you have been checking your bank balance, and if you have been wondering when the next wave of relief is finally going to hit your account, the wait is almost over. We have received confirmation from the Treasury Department's schedule that the direct deposit files for the next major payment batch have been finalized, transmitted, and are currently sitting in the queue at the Federal Reserve ready for release. This Wednesday, January 28th, represents the final payday of the month for a specific group of retirees, and if your birthday falls late in the month, this is the update you have been waiting for. But this video is not just for the people getting paid on Wednesday. It is also a massive alert for everyone else who might be confused about why their check hasn't arrived yet, or why the amount looks different than they expected. We are going to break down the exact timing of the deposit, the specific dollar amounts you should see, including the cost of living adjustment, and the hidden deductions that might be shrinking your deposit without your permission. We are also going to talk about the intersection of this payment with the tax season that just officially opened yesterday, and how that affects your overall financial picture for the year. This is a comprehensive, urgent update designed to ensure that when you wake up on Wednesday morning, you know exactly what is happening with your money. Let's start with the most important question. Who exactly is getting paid this Wednesday, January 28th? The Social Security Administration operates on a very specific schedule that trips people up every single year. They divide retirees into 3 distinct waves based on the day you were born. We have already seen the first wave go out on the second Wednesday for those born between the 1st and the 10th. We saw the second wave hit last week for those born between the 11th and the 20th. Now we are approaching the finish line. If your birthday falls between the 21st and the 31st of any given month, this Wednesday is your designated payday. It does not matter if you were born in January, July, or December. If the day of your birth is the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, all the way up to the 31st, your money is scheduled to arrive on January 28th. This includes people receiving retirement benefits, Social Security disability insurance, and survivor benefits. If you are a spouse claiming benefits on your husband or wife's record, you follow the worker's birthday, not your own. So, if your husband was born on the 25th and you claim benefits under him, you get paid on Wednesday too. Now, why is this specific payment on January 28th so significant? Because it confirms that the 2026 cost of living adjustment is fully active and processed for every single group. For the last 3 weeks, we have heard reports from the first 2 groups about their new payment amounts. Some were happy, some were angry, and some were confused. Now it is your turn. When that deposit hits your account on Wednesday, it will reflect the 2.8% increase that was announced last October. This is not a separate check. It is not a bonus check. It is built directly into your standard monthly benefit. If you received $1,000 last year, you should see roughly $1,028 this year. However, and this is the warning I need to give you before you look at your account, the math is rarely that simple. Most of you are also enrolled in Medicare Part B, and the premium for that insurance has gone up to $202.90. This deduction is taken out before the money ever hits your bank. So, if your check on Wednesday looks smaller than you calculated, or if the raise seems to have disappeared, do not panic and assume the government made a mistake. Grab your calculator and subtract $202.90 from your new gross amount. I guarantee you that in 99% of cases, that is where the missing money went. I also need to address the people who are watching this and thinking, wait, I receive SSI. Do I get paid on Wednesday? The answer is no. Supplemental Security Income, or SSI, operates on a completely different calendar. SSI recipients typically get paid on the 1st of the month. Because February 1st falls on a Sunday this year, your payment is actually going to be moved up to Friday, January 30th. So, while the retirement group gets paid on Wednesday the 28th, the SSI group has to wait 2 extra days until Friday the 30th. It is crucial that you do not mix these dates up. If you are on SSI and you check your account on Wednesday morning, you will likely see a 0 balance. That does not mean you have been suspended. That does not mean you have been denied. It simply means your cycle has not arrived yet. Please write this down. Retirement Group 21st through 31st pays Wednesday. SSI Group pays Friday. Keeping these dates straight is the only way to avoid unnecessary anxiety this week. Let's go deeper into the banking side of this Wednesday deposit. As I mentioned, the Treasury Department has already sent the notification to the banks. This process happens behind the scenes through the automated clearinghouse system. When the Treasury sends that file, your bank receives a notification that says, "Incoming funds for account X." Most traditional banks, like Wells Fargo, Chase, and Bank of America, will hold that notification in a pending state until the official settlement date, which is Wednesday morning. This is why you might not see the money today or tomorrow. They are legally allowed to hold it until the scheduled date. However, many of you use modern banking apps, credit unions, or prepaid cards like Chime, Current, or NetSpend. These financial institutions have a policy of releasing funds early. They do not wait for the settlement date. They release the money the moment they get the notification. For those people, you might actually see your Wednesday payment hit your account as early as Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening. This is a legitimate perk of using those banks. But if you are with a traditional bank and you don't see it until Wednesday morning, do not feel like you are being punished. Your bank is just following standard federal banking regulations. The money is safe. It is just sitting in a digital waiting room until the doors open on Wednesday. There is another critical aspect of this January 28th payment that we need to discuss: the gap that follows it. Once you get paid this Wednesday, you have a very long wait until your next check. The next payment for the 21st to 31st birthday group will not arrive until the fourth Wednesday of February. Because February is a short month, the timing can feel strange. But you are looking at a full 4-week stretch before you see another dime from Social Security. This means the money you receive on Wednesday has to last you through the end of January and almost the entirety of February. You need to pay your February rent, your February electric bill, your February grocery bill, and your Valentine's Day expenses all out of this one check. I urge you to budget carefully. Do not look at the deposit on Wednesday and think, "Oh, I have extra money because of the COLA." That COLA has likely already been eaten up by inflation at the grocery store. Treat this check with extreme caution. Ensure your major bills are covered immediately. Do not leave yourself short for the last week of February. Now, because this is the first month of the new year where everyone has finally been paid, the Social Security Administration often sees a spike in call volume on Wednesday and Thursday. People are calling to correct errors. If you wake up on Wednesday and your deposit is not there, and I mean it is really not there, not just delayed by a few hours, you need to know the correct protocol. Do not call at 8 a.m. The phone lines will be jammed. Wait until the afternoon. But before you call, check your My Social Security account online. I cannot stress this enough. The online portal is the source of truth. If the portal says payment issued January 28th, then the Social Security Administration has done its job. The money has left the building. If the portal says issued, but your bank says nothing, the problem is with your bank. You need to call your bank's customer service, not the SSA. Ask them if they see a pending ACH transfer from the U.S. Treasury. Often, the bank can see it on their screen, even if you can't see it on your app. On the other hand, if you log into the SSA portal and it says suspended or held, then you know the problem is with the government. That is when you brave the hold times and call the 1-800 number. Knowing who to call saves you hours of frustration. This Wednesday update also coincides with the opening of tax season, which happened yesterday. This is not a coincidence. The end of January is when all the financial paperwork flies around. By the time you get your payment on Wednesday, you should also have received, or be about to receive, your Form SSA-1099 in the mail. This is the tax form that tells you exactly how much money you received from Social Security in 2025. You cannot file your taxes without this form. If you are checking your mail on Wednesday for your check, look for the envelope that says Important Tax Document Enclosed. Do not throw it away. Even if you don't usually file taxes, you might need this form this year. Why? Because of the property tax rebates and state stimulus checks we have discussed in other videos. Many states require you to prove your income to get those rebates. The SSA 1099 is your proof. It proves you are a senior. It proves your income level. It is your golden ticket to other benefits. So, when you are verifying your direct deposit on Wednesday, verify your paperwork too. Keep them together. Let's pivot to a warning about scams that are specifically targeting this January 28th date. Scammers know the schedule better than most beneficiaries do. They know that on Wednesday, millions of seniors will be flush with cash. They know you just got your COLA. So starting on Wednesday morning, you are going to see an uptick in fake text messages and robocalls. They will say things like, "Problem with your January 28th deposit. Click here to verify." Or, "Your COLA was calculated incorrectly. Press 1 to claim your bonus." Listen to me. The Social Security Administration will never, ever text you about a specific deposit problem. They will never call you to give you a bonus. If there is a problem with your check, they send a letter in the mail. If you get a text message on Wednesday morning that looks like it is from your bank or from Social Security, delete it. Do not click the link. These criminals are trying to intercept the money that just landed in your account. They want your login information so they can transfer your COLA to their account. Be paranoid. On payday, be the most suspicious person in the world. Protect that money because once it is gone, the government will not replace it. We also need to talk about the overpayment issue that often rears its ugly head during payment cycles. Sometimes you might check your account on Wednesday and see a deposit that is too big. Maybe you usually get $1,500, but suddenly you see $3,000. Your instinct might be to celebrate. You might think, "Finally, they sent me that back pay." Or maybe I won a lottery. Stop. Do not spend that money. If the Social Security Administration makes a mistake and sends you a double payment or an accidental lump sum, they will eventually realize it. And when they do, they will demand it back. If you have already spent it, you will be hit with an overpayment notice, and they will start garnishing your future checks to recover it. If you see a weirdly large amount on Wednesday, call the SSA immediately. Ask them, "What is this money for?" Verify it. If it is a legitimate underpayment correction, great. But if it is a clerical error, leave it in the bank. Do not touch it. Let them pull it back. Being honest in this situation protects your future financial stability. The stress of owing the government $10,000 is not worth the temporary joy of a shopping spree. For those of you who are also receiving food stamps or SNAP benefits, the timing of this Social Security payment on Wednesday is relevant to your renewal. Many states recertify SNAP benefits in January and February. The state SNAP office will look at your new Social Security amount, the one landing on Wednesday, to determine your food stamp eligibility for the rest of the year. Because your income went up by 2.8%, your food stamps might go down slightly. This is the COLA cliff we often talk about. It is unfair, but it is the current law. When you get your deposit on Wednesday, make a note of the exact new gross amount. You will likely need to report this to your SNAP caseworker if you receive a renewal letter next month. Being proactive and updating your income can prevent them from cutting you off completely for failure to report changes. It is better to lose $10 in food stamps than to lose the whole card because of a paperwork error. I want to take a moment to speak to those of you who are still waiting on your approval. Maybe you are watching this video and you are not in the Wednesday group because you haven't been approved for benefits yet. You are stuck in the backlog. Hearing about other people getting paid on January 28th might be frustrating. I want you to know that the SSA is working through a massive backlog of disability applications. We are seeing reports of batch approvals happening at the end of the month. If you are waiting on a decision, keep checking your status on Wednesdays. Wednesday is often the day the system updates case files. Even if you don't get money this Wednesday, you might get a status change. Keep fighting. Your back pay, when it finally comes, will be a significant lump sum that covers all these months of waiting. Now let's look ahead to the rest of the week. After this payment on Wednesday, the Social Security payment calendar goes quiet for a few days. Thursday and Friday are administrative days. Then, as I mentioned, Friday the 30th brings the SIA payment. This means that by the time we hit the weekend, almost every beneficiary in the country will have been paid their January funds. This synchronization is good news for the economy, but it means the lines at the grocery store and the bank will be long. If you can, try to do your shopping on Tuesday or wait until the weekend. Wednesday and Thursday will be peak traffic days for seniors running errands. Plan your schedule accordingly to avoid the crowds and the stress. Let's discuss the Direct Express card specifically. Millions of you receive your Wednesday payment on this card. Direct Express has had a history of technical glitches on high-volume days. Sometimes the app crashes, sometimes the phone line is busy. If you wake up on Wednesday and you cannot log into the Direct Express app to check your balance, do not panic. It does not mean your money isn't there. It just means thousands of other people are trying to log in at the same exact second. Go to an ATM, check your balance there, or use the automated text alerts if you have them set up. The money is usually loaded onto the card by 1 a.m. Eastern Time. Just because the app is down doesn't mean the card won't work at the grocery store. Have faith in the underlying Visa/MasterCard network even if the mobile app is struggling. For those of you who have split payments, maybe you have part of your check go to a savings account and part to a checking account check both. Sometimes one transfer clears before the other. You might see $500 in checking and think you were shorted, only to realize the other $1,000 is sitting in savings waiting for you. Review your deposit slip or your online transaction history carefully. Ensure the total adds up to your expected benefit. If you have joint accounts, make sure your spouse didn't move the money. Communicate with your family. Money issues are the #1 cause of stress, and clarity on payday solves a lot of arguments before they start. I also want to remind you about the taxable amount of this payment. The money you receive on Wednesday counts toward your 2026 income. I know we just started the year, but if you are on the borderline of the taxation thresholds, every penny counts. The 2.8% raise you just got might be the thing that pushes you over the limit this year. It is smart to set aside a tiny fraction of this check, maybe $10 or $20, into a tax jar or a savings account. If you do this every month starting this Wednesday, by the time tax season rolls around next year, you will have a few $100s saved up to pay any potential tax bill. It is a painless way to protect yourself from a surprise letter from the IRS. Small habits starting this Wednesday can save you big headaches next April. Let's re-verify the Wednesday rule one more time because I see confusion in the comments every day. People ask, "My birthday is on the 21st. Do I get paid this week?" Yes. "My birthday is on the 31st. Do I get paid?" Yes. "My birthday is on the 20th. Did I miss it?" If your birthday is on the 20th, you should have been paid last Wednesday. If you weren't, you need to call the SSA immediately because your payment is officially late. But for the 21st through the 31st, you are in the clear for this week. It is a simple system once you memorize it. 1 to 10 is second Wednesday. 11 to 20 is third Wednesday. 21 to 31 is fourth Wednesday. This Wednesday is the fourth Wednesday of January. The calendar aligns perfectly. There are no holidays blocking it. There are no banking closures. It is a green light for deposits. What if you are traveling? If you are a snowbird or visiting family and you are not at your home address, your direct deposit will still work seamlessly. That is the beauty of electronic payments. However, if you still receive a paper check, and there are still about 500,000 of you, who do you need to be at your mailbox on Wednesday or Thursday? Mail theft is a rising crime. Thieves follow the postal trucks on Social Security days. If you cannot be home to get your check out of the box, ask a trusted neighbor to grab it for you. Do not let that distinct brown envelope sit in your mailbox overnight. It is a target. Better yet, use this Wednesday as motivation to finally switch to direct deposit. You can do it online or over the phone. It is safer, faster, and you don't have to worry about the weather or the mailman. Let's talk about the Medicare Part D aspect of your finances. While Part B comes out of your check automatically, Part D is usually a separate bill unless you ask to have it deducted. If you recently changed your drug plan during the open enrollment that ended in December, this Wednesday payment might be the first time you see the new deduction amount. Maybe you switched to a cheaper plan. Maybe you switched to a more expensive one. Check your net deposit. If it changed by $10 or $20 and you can't figure out why, look at your Part D premiums. That is often the culprit for small fluctuations in January. Verify that the plan you picked is the one they are billing you for. Mistakes happen during the enrollment handover. Catching it on Wednesday allows you to fix it before February. Finally, I want to address the emotional aspect of this update. I know that for many of you, this money is already spent before it arrives. I know that you are juggling bills, dealing with rising food costs, and trying to help your grandkids. This payment on Wednesday is not a fortune. It is a lifeline. My goal with this update is to give you the certainty you need to plan your week. You don't have to guess. You don't have to worry if the government forgot you. The system is running. The files are at the Federal Reserve. The money is hours away from your account. You have survived the long month of January. You made it through the post-holiday financial hangover. Relief is arriving on Wednesday. Take a deep breath. You are going to be okay. As we wrap up this urgent update, I want to leave you with an action plan for Wednesday morning. Step 1. Wake up and check your bank app or call your bank's automated line. Step 2. Verify the amount. Does it include the COLA? Is the Part B deduction correct? Step 3. Pay your must-pay bills immediately. Step 4. Buy your groceries for the month. Step 5. Check your mail for the SSA-1099 tax form. Step 6. Mark your calendar for the next payment in February so you can pace your spending. This cycle of waiting and receiving is the rhythm of retirement. It can be stressful, but knowledge is power. By knowing exactly who gets paid, when they get paid, and how much they get paid, you take back control from the anxiety. You are an informed beneficiary. You are smart. You are prepared. This Wednesday, January 28th, is your day. Claim it, watch for it, and use it wisely. We will be right here tracking the deposits as they hit. If there are any widespread outages or system failures on Wednesday morning, we will post an emergency video immediately to let you know. But right now, all signs point to a smooth, on-time delivery. Get your accounts ready. The money is coming. Stay safe, stay warm, and I will see you in the next update.